Okay, I've talked about this point before, but it's so very important. What does it mean to have sex, visual sex, not literally, with an image that you're either viewing or creating? Not taking, hopefully, but actually creating. Where's the line of differentiation between the two? Sometimes it's not very much. Anyway, I talked about intimacy before. By the way, of course, I said, I think I said I was actually shooting at the Woodland Art Festival for, still got healing blisters on the toes there due to some tight boots. I was shooting a Tamron 7200, 2.8. I needed it because I was actually going to shoot some sport shots, otherwise I would have taken the Nikkor 80 to 200, and some of these wankers actually come, what are you doing with that long lens? You know, what do you need that for? Isn't it? Well, actually, they kind of, a few of them said, isn't that a bit of overkill? It's like, no, it's not overkill. You know, I need that to get the, they don't understand. It's like, it's communicating with the deaf and blind. You're talking, it's not tight quarters, but I mean, people think that, you know, you need a 70 to 200 lens for taking long distance horse shots, and of course most of the shots you can get right up on. So why was I packing around, you know, that heavy ass 70-200? And the answer is intimacy. You know, you get close to something, it clams up or it changes, and I want to actually capture that stuff. You know, capture the intimate stuff that people that, you know, that I love and that other people like. And you know what was, you know, I never even learned any of this stuff in photography school. I mean, they wouldn't talk about this stuff. I mean, never once did they mention this in 2 years of photography school. What's the key thing that's missing in your pictures that make them suck? And could make mine suck. And make anybody's lenses suck. You know, obviously landscape and regular normal shots have their place, but it's intimacy. It's just getting, like I can get back and take a 35mm shot of what's on this table. Okay, right here. I'll get everything from like here to here. Boring as hell. Nobody wants to see it. Basically, nobody wants to see it. You know, I throw the right illumination on this. I'll get back about 10 feet, take the 70-200, which of course I don't need 70-200 for that. I could use a 50mm, like a 100mm, and get in right here like this, or actually this would be, and prop it up, and you know, I'd shine some special lights, like, you know, take this shot. Okay? Nobody wants to see it, everybody loves it. Nobody wants to see it, everybody loves it. Not everybody, but you know, compared to this is 0% and this is 100% by comparison, okay? Is that a bit hyperbolic? Yeah, but it's also true. You know, what is missing in your shots is intimacy. I mean, you really got to crawl up. This is why, you know, you can dig through the crap in your basement, the crap that you wouldn't even piss at to throw away, and take macro shots of some of that stuff, and, you know, some of them would be award winners. People love intimate shots. Nobody's taking it. Now, I don't mean just macro photography, which is really important, because 80% of the world is missing 60% of the shots by not doing macro work, or at least close-in stuff. You know, getting to the heart of what something, people love that stuff. Everybody is sick and tired of this. Okay, it's not intimacy. It's kind of like watching. Now, this is a really bad analogy. Don't take anything about me, but it's like somebody watching, I don't know, you know, dirty movies or something on the computer. That's not intimate. You know, actually being there, you know, the smells, the textures, you know, all of that stuff is applicable to photography. And what's missing in your shots is intimacy. You know, they miss in my shots sometimes, and sometimes I even have to slap myself. You got to get right in there, okay? Whatever it is. Now, is it compositionally valid? This may be more compositionally valid, but it depends on what it is, obviously. But I can assure you that of every photographer that's out there, and this is a truism is a generalization, but it's still true by default because it's a truism and it's generally accurate, is that of all the photographers that are out there, or the shooters that are out there, however you want to denotate them versus connotate them, roughly about 70% of their shots could be a lot more intimate and a lot more frigging interesting. Okay? Now, what's here? You know, not interesting. What's here or what's here? Interesting, fascinating. it draws you in. I mean, it's people are by their nature provocateurs. They want to get to the heart of what something is. And this is cold and shallow, okay? And this is warm and enticing. And I don't know, a more simple way to say this, other than, what's missing in your shots is, you're repeating yourself. Yeah, but nobody's getting it! So maybe I do need to repeat myself. The two news photographers that were shot, they're murdered by that madman. The people that were working at the TV station, they were not moved. They actually said this. They basically said they weren't moved by seeing their pictures on the wall. They were still grieving and whatnot. But what actually made everybody cry, okay, was the intimate stuff. And what was the intimate stuff? The fat dude that was the videographer, he always left his candy wrappers laying around. So they weren't moved by seeing his pictures and going, oh my God, he's dead. They were moved, one of them said, when they saw one of his discarded candy wrappers over in the corner. That little intimate detail, that's what made them cry. Not the zoomed out picture of his face, which you think it would. It was the little intimate detail. The little crazy stuff, like what was in her trash can. The female reporter, they said they were crying over passing by her desk and seeing what was in her trash can. The intimate details. It was like, someone is crying over what's in that murdered woman's trash can because it registers more to them. Humans, by their very nature, notice the details and the intimacy. They're interested in the tree, not the forest. This is typically human nature. You can't see the forest for the trees, right? Well, it's because humans are interested in the tree. Now, it's obviously better to see the big picture in certain things. When it comes to photography, it's just the inverse. It's better to see this. Because everybody's taking a picture. Oh, isn't that lovely? Yeah, great. That's awesome. Now let's take a look at this, okay? Because this moves people more. It does, okay? There are plenty of situations where this moves you more, but this gets you most of the time. You just stop shooting the forest and ask yourself if a picture of the tree would not, this is just an analogy. Stop trying to take pictures of groups of trees or the forest and start asking yourself, maybe I should be shooting the tree. Maybe I should be shooting the bark of the tree. Maybe I should get on my back and shoot up at the base of the tree towards the foliage. And let me do that in infrared. Let me do that in black. Those are the pictures nobody gets. Everybody's like, yeah, I've seen a picture of the forest before. I repeated myself too much, but nobody's doing it. Or at least very few people are doing it. And certainly not enough people are doing it. I hope you got the point. This is definitely the one time a repetition was necessary and called for.